Well, this part of the project is finished. I installed the solar controllers and the solar panels in the shed. And it works perfectly. The battery showing 13.6 volts, so it's charged. Right now it's running 7.2 amps. Yesterday in full sun, in the middle of the day, I got 19.7 amps. The panels are putting out 29 to 30 volts, 98 watts, and the battery is 13.6. The inverter is running. So I'll put a load on it this time and see how it does. Everything seems to be working okay. Next phase will be running the LEDs off this DC fuse box and the negative box over there. See it right there. Okay, these are the LEDs I'm going to put up. They're called wall lights. The indirect lighting underneath the eaves of the shed, and I'll be mounting these under there. You won't see them except at night when the light floods down on the wall of the light. I'm going to put 3 on each side and a couple on the back. I'm not sure about the front yet. And then I'm going to have a photoelectric cell wired in to turn them on at dusk and off at dawn. So I'm not going to be saying much here, so I'm just going to go ahead and attach them to these 1x2s and then attach them to under the eaves, and then I'll continue with the wiring. I was going to use connectors on this, like these, but the wires are so thin that it's hard to keep them together. And so I kind of had to make a wiring harness, so I'm just going to go ahead and solder these together. Less headaches in the long run for these thin wires. If the wires were thicker, I would use the connectors. Sometimes it's tough doing it by yourself. So I installed the LED lights on the shed. Plus I put one in the sauna and one in the storage area so I can see. So the shed is completely electrified with off-grid power. So I'll show you. I had to make wiring harnesses for these lights. So it took me a little bit longer, and I put a dimmer switch on them because they're really bright at night, which I'll show you tonight when I do a video on how bright the lights are and adjustments on it. So as you see on the side, these lights came from Amazon. They're like $13 a pair, and I did have to buy some wire. I did have some of my own wire, but I did have to make the wiring harness like I stated before. So I mounted the lights on a 1x2 and then just installed the wooden 1x2 onto the shed for indirect lighting, or wall lights is what they call them. And I did 2 circuits. The front and the side I'm showing you now is on 1 circuit. And then these are the other side of the lights. They're pretty bright. So I did put a dimmer switch like I mentioned to I'll adjust them tonight for a little softer light. And I incorporated on at dusk, off at sunrise. So they're automatic lights. They'll come on at night, go off during the day. I did a test run last night and they worked great. Like I said, I installed a dimmer switch onto them so I can soften them a little bit. Here's the back. This is the other circuit with two lights on the back. And then here's the light inside. And the power panel. This is the dimmer switch. There are two light circuits, but I did incorporate them into one 5 amp fuse box, because they barely draw 4 amps. So a 5 amp is what I did. And here's the battery monitor. Actually, I have 2 of them, but this one here is more convenient. I might move that later to a different location, but I haven't decided yet. And I do have the DC to AC power inverter here for running 120 power tools. And like I said, my light here so I can see in here. I didn't show all this making the wiring harnesses for these lights, because it's just basically soldering and putting shrink on them, where I soldered them together. And in here I did use these this type of connectors, and well, that's about it. I'm really happy with it, like I said before, and I will be adding on more to it. That gazebo has a separate battery running LED lights. I might go ahead and just incorporate it into this main solar panel setup. There's the other dusk to dawn. The sauna. There's the light, so when I'm loading the wood stove for my sauna, I can see in here. I don't have to use a flashlight anymore. Well, that's it for this one. Tonight I'll adjust the dimmer switch or rheostat, and for a nice indirect, softer light. But I'll show you when I do that. So these are the lights on the shed. I will adjust the with the rheostat. So I adjusted the lights to about half brightness. It will save, instead of a full 3.5 amps, it's probably about 1 3/4 amps for the whole thing. Which is not too shabby. And I'll be adding lights to this gazebo, and I'll be incorporating this battery into the main We're incorporating this battery into the main. You can see it right there. That battery right there into the main solar panels on the shed. And I'll be putting exterior lights on the outside to lighten this area up a little more. So that'll be my next project on this. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll let you know how I'm progressing on this lighting of the backyard. And thank you.